The morning of the day arrived. Soon after my husband Joseph left for a business trip, which was actually a cheating trip, I received a phone call.
Please take care of my parents while I'm away. I think they will come to visit our home.
They said they would join you soon.
Huh?
Well, good luck with your work.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Just as I was about to hang up the phone, I heard a loud and angry voice from the other end of the line. It seemed like my father-in-law was yelling at Joseph about something. My mother-in-law was also there, crying and scolding Joseph.
What are you doing? Who is that woman?
Ha! Why are you guys here?
You have Alicia and Rebecca with you, and yet you're doing this?
I don't understand. I'm on a business trip.
Where do you see someone on a business trip holding hands with a woman? You idiot!
My name is Alicia. I am 29 years old and live with my 30-year-old husband Joseph and our 2-year-old daughter Rebecca. 2 years ago, when I was just starting my career, I found out I was pregnant and married Joseph. I took a temporary leave from work after giving birth, but returned to work soon after. I love my job, and I never considered quitting, no matter how hard it got. Joseph was supportive of me and agreed that I should continue working. Rebecca is taken care of at a daycare during the day, and my in-laws mostly take care of her afterwards. They are very helpful and seem to enjoy taking care of Rebecca. However, my in-laws always ask me if I am not thinking of quitting my job. I think they're probably worried about my health, but I feel guilty every time I ask them to take care of Rebecca.
Alicia, isn't it hard to balance work and family?
No, I enjoy doing it.
In the past, women were expected to stay at home after marriage.
Nowadays, there are more working moms. I'm one of them. I love my job and I don't want to quit for the sake of my future finances. Joseph works for a trading company and earns a salary that is above average, so we're not struggling financially. However, I don't want to quit my job for my own sake. My in-laws sometimes say things like this to me.
Alicia, don't you want to feel closer to Rebecca's growth?
I'm always grateful to you. But I still want to work.
Can't you get by with Joseph's salary? Are you having financial problems?
That's not the case. We have enough money, but it's also about my career.
I'm fine with it, but Rebecca is growing every day.
I feel the same way. Thank you very much. My relationship with my in-laws is generally good. They love their granddaughter, but they also love me more than anyone else. However, they always tell me that I should quit my job for some reason. They're not being sarcastic or mean, but they seem to be saying it from the bottom of their hearts. When my in-laws were raising their children, there was a fixed concept that mothers were housewives. Nowadays, there are more working mothers than housewives. Joseph never complained about me working. He knew that my in-laws were taking care of Rebecca, but he didn't have any objections. It's more convenient for my in-laws to take care of Rebecca than for him to do it himself. Joseph seems to think that Rebecca is cute, but he's not so much of a doting father that he takes care of her himself. For example, when we were newlyweds or when Rebecca was born, he would come home from work almost on time. However, recently he has been working overtime and going on business trips more often. I know that working styles change as his career changes, but I feel like Joseph has been doing it a lot more in the past few months. There is one more thing I'm worried about. It's about money. While we're both working, we keep our wallets separate and put a fixed amount of living expenses into each of our homes, so I don't know how much Joseph's income has actually increased. Still, I believe that he must be saving that much for the future, as I think he's working this hard. Should we unify our accounts soon? I've been thinking about that too. I don't work overtime or go on business trips because I have Rebecca and housework to take care of. I really like the company that allows me to work like this. I was able to do the work I wanted to do at my own pace without overdoing it.
Mom, I want to see an elephant.
An elephant? Okay, let's go to the zoo this Sunday.
Yay! Are there giraffes too?
Yes, there are. There are also monkeys and lions.
I'm looking forward to it. Mom, promise me. Will Dad come too?
I'll ask him. He might be working, so don't be selfish.
Okay. But I can go with Mom, right?
You can go with me. I promise. Rebecca didn't dislike me because I was working. I tried to play with Rebecca as much as possible and be a good mom in my own way. It was a winter day. Rebecca's third birthday was approaching. Rebecca understood her birthday and presents well, and she asked me for a birthday present.
Mom, I want a dollhouse for my birthday.
A dollhouse? Isn't it a little early for you, Rebecca?
No, it's not. Nancy and Stella have one.
Really? Then I'll think about which one to get.
Yay! I love you, Mom.
I sometimes think that I'm a little too indulgent with Rebecca because I'm always working, but I think it's also a form of communication. I don't want Rebecca to feel lonely. I made my own judgments and sometimes bought things that Rebecca wanted while consulting with Joseph. On the day of her birthday, I went to the cake shop to pick up a cake with a character that I had reserved a few days ago, and prepared a slightly luxurious dollhouse that I had bought as a surprise. Then, before leaving in the morning, I reminded Joseph that today was Rebecca's birthday, so he should come home as soon as possible. Joseph seemed to be in a hurry and gave me a vague answer before rushing off to work. I was worried, but I never thought he would go to a drinking party on his daughter's birthday. I got ready and left Rebecca at my in-laws' house before going to work. I finished work on time that day and went to pick up Rebecca from my in-laws' house. After returning home holding hands with Rebecca, I prepared her favorite dinner that I had prepared the day before while she watched TV, and hid the character cake in the refrigerator. All that was left was to look forward to Rebecca's smile when she received her present. Rebecca and I were ready and waiting for Joseph's return. However, Joseph did not come home no matter how long we waited. I told him I wanted him to come home early today, but since tomorrow was a weekday, I fed Rebecca dinner and put her to bed first. It was Rebecca's birthday, but it was inconvenient for her to wait for her dad and fall asleep. I was waiting for Joseph, but the date was about to change. I kept sending messages to his smartphone, but he didn't reply. Just as I was about to eat and go to bed, the front door opened with a clatter.
I'm home.
Welcome back. You're late. Did something happen?
I had to work overtime. Where's Rebecca?
She's already asleep. I told you to come home early today.
It can't be helped. It's work. I wanted to come home early too.
I'm about to eat. What about you?
Sorry, I already ate. I don't need anything.
Joseph took off his coat and handed it to me. I couldn't suppress my irritation, but I managed to swallow it and ate the dinner I had made myself. I had been patient even when feeding Rebecca, but if he was going to come home this late, he could have at least contacted me. I was not satisfied with many things, but I didn't want to fight at this hour, so I gave in. In contrast, Joseph didn't seem to feel guilty at all. I couldn't help but look through Joseph's wallet in the breast pocket of the coat he handed me while he was taking a bath. And I found it. There was a receipt for a high-end French restaurant meal with today's date in Joseph's wallet. I was shocked, as if I had been hit in the head with a blunt object. While holding my head in confusion, I suddenly remembered that I had received a credit card statement addressed to Joseph. When I checked it, I didn't know what he had bought, but the names of high-end metal shops and brand stores were listed. He's cheating. I immediately realized it with a woman's intuition, but I didn't know what to do next. Even if I confront him directly, he will probably cover it up and it will be over. I'm powerless on my own. I watched Joseph get out of the bath and enter the bedroom, and then I thought about it alone in the living room. I came to the conclusion that it was important to firmly recognize this speculation as a fact. I decided to break into the savings I had been saving for the future and hire a private investigator. I thought it was best to leave it to the professionals. The results came out in a week, and it turned out that Joseph was cheating with a female colleague at work. I also found out that he had bought bags and precious metals for her. I was so frustrated, sad, and empty when I found out that he had gone to a fancy dinner with another woman on our daughter's birthday. But I have to be strong for Rebecca. I decided to fight back against Joseph. As a first step, I reported it to my in-laws. Of course, they didn't believe me right away, but they seemed to understand that he had been coming home late recently, going on business trips frequently, and had receipts for credit cards and high-end French restaurants. My in-laws apologized to me because they take care of Rebecca, and I work hard on housework, childcare, and work, and they can't forgive their son. But I don't want an apology from my in-laws. The moment I found out about the affair, I was already thinking about divorce. This won't change no matter how much he apologizes. But that doesn't mean I have the option of not receiving an apology. He must apologize to me directly. I acted as if nothing had happened to Joseph, waited patiently, and waited for the opportunity to strike back. And the opportunity one had been waiting for finally came. Joseph said he was going on a business trip during the consecutive holidays. I understand that I'm working too. But there's no way a trading company would go on a business trip during the consecutive holidays when the world is off. Joseph must be excited. He didn't even seem to realize that I knew about it. I asked Joseph just in case. Can't you go out with Rebecca during the consecutive holidays?
It can't be helped. I'm on a business trip.
Why are you on a business trip at a time like this?
I want to know too. If you're suspicious, contact the company and ask.
Joseph probably knew that I wouldn't do such a thing. Joseph is always saying that it can't be helped because it's work. This is probably another cheating trip. I bit my lip and switched my feelings to the opportunity to strike back this time. I secretly asked Joseph for the exact date of his business trip and reported it to my in-laws. Here's the plan. My in-laws will wait for Joseph at the station where he said he was going on a business trip. They will pretend to run into Joseph and his mistress and scold them. And the morning of the day arrived. As soon as Joseph left on a business trip, I received a call.
Please take care of my parents while I'm away. I think they'll come to visit our home soon.
I heard that you and your parents will meet soon.
What are you talking about?
Well, good luck with your work.
Wait, what are you talking about?
At that moment, I tried to hang up the phone, but I heard a terrible scream from the other end of the phone. It seems that my father-in-law is shouting something at Joseph. My mother-in-law also seemed to be scolding Joseph while crying.
What are you doing? Who is that woman?
What? Why are you here, Dad and Mom?
You're doing this while you have Alicia and Rebecca.
I don't understand. I'm on a business trip.
Where's the guy who holds hands with a woman on a business trip? You idiot!
The plan worked well, and Joseph was caught in the act of cheating by my in-laws. The phone was disconnected, so I heard the story from my in-laws, but Joseph and the woman who came out of the station in a lovey-dovey atmosphere were holding hands and seemed to be in a dating mood. Joseph and his mistress were surprised when my in-laws interrupted them. The woman said she was going to the restroom and never came back. Joseph was scolded by my in-laws, and his lies were exposed. He was taken back home. My parents, who live far away, happened to come to see their granddaughter during the long holiday. I asked my parents to take care of Rebecca, and the four of us, my in-laws, Joseph, and I, talked about the affair. So, what happened to the business trip?
Well, I, happened to run into my parents at the destination. Ha ha ha.
Don't lie. Is that work?
Apologize to Alicia. You're such an embarrassing son.
Joseph apologized to me.
Alicia, I'm really sorry. I'll put my family first from now on.
That means it wasn't the case before.
Please forgive me. I was a little crazy.
You went too far for being a little crazy. I won't forgive you.
Please give me another chance.
Who are you to say that? Sorry, but I can't believe you. Joseph asked me for forgiveness, but I didn't change my mind about divorcing him and taking Rebecca with me. My in-laws also felt sad to lose their granddaughter, but they couldn't forgive their son for what he did, so they defended me. I work too, and Rebecca is still young, so I can move without worrying about changing schools. I consulted with my workplace and was transferred to an office that I can commute to from my parents' house, where I plan to stay for a while. Of course, I demanded compensation from Joseph and his mistress. Since Rebecca is involved, I can also claim child support. I'm not in financial trouble, but I want to give Joseph the punishment he deserves. And according to the settlement, I was able to get tens of thousands of dollars in compensation from Joseph and his mistress. Child support will be paid until Rebecca reaches adulthood. Joseph was disowned by his parents. They told me that they would not provide any financial assistance to Joseph. If Joseph is unable to pay child support, they said they would be guarantors. Joseph, who had become penniless, works part-time after work and on weekends because he cannot afford to pay the compensation he borrowed from his parents and child support for me. The woman he cheated with can no longer work at the company, but she has to work in the city at night because of money. However, it seems that she is not working in a glamorous city, but is doing things like washing dishes at a bar. With the help of my parents, my work is going well, and Rebecca is growing up healthy. My in-laws also want to see their granddaughter. They contact me occasionally, so I let Rebecca meet them at that time. Of course, I haven't let Rebecca meet Joseph. According to my in-laws, Joseph wants to see Rebecca, but she doesn't want to see him, so I ignore him. I am grateful to my in-laws for their many corporations and assistance.
Hey Mom, I want something for my 4th birthday.
Rebecca, you take good care of your toys. Which one do you want? Let's go see it next time.
Yay! I love you, Mom.
Thank you. Mom loves you too. I'm about to take the promotion exam to become a section chief. Since it's a children's clothing company, there is a warm atmosphere for child rearing, and the system is in place to allow me to raise my child even if I get promoted. I'm excited and motivated to become the earliest section chief among my peers. Of course, I will receive child support from Joseph, but I want to work hard and live without inconvenience for Rebecca. And I want to continue to be a gentle mom who Rebecca always says she loves.
Did you enjoy the story? Please subscribe to my channel. It will encourage me to create more videos in the future. Please watch my next video too. How was this story? Please subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.